Hi, I'm Susie Garden, and this is the Ageless and Awesome podcast. I'm an age-defying naturopath and clinical nutritionist, and I'm here to bust myths around women's health and aging so that you can be ageless and awesome in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. The Ageless and Awesome podcast is dedicated to helping women through perimenopause and menopause with great health, a positive mindset, and outrageous confidence. Hit subscribe or follow now, and let's get started. Hello, gorgeous, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ageless and Awesome podcast. It's Q&A Thursday. Every Thursday, I address listeners' questions. So if you want to submit a question, just have a look on the show notes. If you're in Spotify, it will have a button that you can press to ask a question. Otherwise, you can DM me at Susie Garden Wellness. That's SUSIE Garden, as in flowers, wellness, to submit your question. I love hearing from you, so please keep those questions coming in. Today's question is a bit of a juicy one. It's from Anita in Brisbane, and she asks, how can I improve my skin? Since I've hit perimenopause, it's feeling dry and looks old. Please help. Yeah, this is really common actually, and I've got quite a number of hot tips for improving your skin once you hit perimenopause. Now, the first one, I'm always going to say this pretty much for any issue in the body. If you increase your hydration, it improves so many things. And from a skin point of view, of course, it will help to plump those skin cells. It will help with detoxification. So removing toxins from the body, because when we are experiencing a little bit of sluggish detox processes, then that can show up in the skin. So hydration is number one. And if you haven't heard this before, if you're a new listener, my formula for working out how much water you need to drink is 35 mils per kilo of body weight. It's actually not my formula. It is a scientifically calculated formula. And that includes your herbal teas, your smoothies, soups, the fluid that's in what you're eating, as well as just water. But water is fabulous, particularly filtered water. I know when it's particularly in Australia, from city to city, of course, the tap water is safe to drink. It's fine to drink. But definitely you will notice if you do drink filtered water, if you then have just tap water, you can really taste the chlorine in particular. And I'm definitely, for myself, I've drunk filtered water for many, many years. I've just been fortunate enough to move into houses that happen to have the filtration already there. And oh my gosh, if I travel and I go to certain cities in Australia, and particularly I live on the Gold Coast, the water here tastes horrible. And there's a couple of cities, I'm not going to name them, you know who you are, where the water is really awful. So filtered water really helps to keep that hydration up. So that's number one, pretty basic. Number two, obviously, I'm a nutritionist as well as a naturopath, and nutrition for skin is huge. And just some of the kind of highlights of that is eating brightly colored fruits and veggies. So lots of brightly colored berries, and just the standard ones, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, mulberries, all contain polyphenols, which are awesome for skin health. Also brightly colored veggies as well. The brighter the color, the better. Quality protein, because that of course forms our skin structure. And also quality fats. Things like olive oil, avocado in particular, very good for skin. And green leafy vegetables are also very good for skin. They contain vitamin C, as all of those foods that I've mentioned do, except probably the fats. And they also help, the green leafies also help with detoxification processes. So again, just keeping the body working well will reflect in your skin. That's very top line nutrition for skin. If you want to know more, please DM me and I'll do a whole podcast on it. Sleep is super important for, making your skin look good. There's lots of processes that go on during the night. We're not just resting. There's detoxification processes, there's hormones being built, so many things. And so if your sleep is not great, and let's face it, when you're in perimenopause, it is really hard sometimes to get a good night's sleep because of the hormone kind of imbalance that's going on. So really focusing on having a good sleep routine, using things like herbal teas to help can be very, very beneficial for improving your sleep. I've done quite a few podcasts on sleep, so if you want to have a look through the back catalogue, you'll find quite a number of podcasts on that. Another big one, and when I was preparing my answer for this episode, I decided to do, next week, I will do an episode on the gut-skin connection, because gut health is super important for skin, and it's quite a big topic. So I'm going to do a podcast next week on the gut-skin connection. It's a relatively recently discovered phenomenon, and it's not fully understood how it works. But what we know is that there is a communication that goes on between the gut and the skin and the gut. And that if our gut health is not good, that will absolutely reflect in the skin. And I'm going to get into some real specifics of that next week. So make sure you tune in next week for that one. My final hot tip, so that's my fifth hot tip, is of course collagen. In fact, my collagen episode on the podcast is, I think, the second highest ranked episode that I've ever done in over 150 episodes. So check that one out. If you just go into the back catalogue again, you can search for collagen, you'll find it. The best collagen for skin is marine collagen. Do make sure that that it's a very clean collagen. The one I use is just collagen, no flavoring. You don't need any of that. You don't need any sweeteners in it. Just collagen is flavorless, so you can just pop it in a glass of water if you want to. I don't like doing that. I find it a bit gross. I put it in my smoothie. You can mix it into yogurt, things like that. People often put it in their coffees. I've tried that. I found that I didn't really like it that much. But collagen seems to, look, I think the evidence is limited with it, but it's not harmless, and it does seem to have, just from an anecdotal point of view, people do notice their hair, their nails, plus their skin can improve taking collagen. I guess I should also do a little plug for my Energy Glow NR. I get fantastic feedback from my supplement with regard to skin, and it's because it's got a whole bunch of nutrients that support skin health, and also I think the adaptogens in there that help you to manage stress help as well. And of course, it has detoxification properties. It really is many supplements in just 2 capsules once a day. So you can go and check that out at theglowprotocol.com.au. It is a really cost-effective option because it replaces multiple supplements. So go and check that out. Sorry, I didn't actually think I was going to do a plug for that, but there you go. There it is. It's something I take every day, and the feedback I get in terms of skin health, nails, hair, eyelashes, all of that sort of stuff is awesome. They're probably the top 6 that I would recommend, just top line, to improve your skin in perimenopause. So I'll just recap: hydration, nutrition, so lots of brightly colored fruits, veggies, having good protein and healthy fats and green leafies, get your sleep sorted, make sure your gut health is good. Now, I did a podcast a few weeks ago just saying, I think it was a Q&A actually, where someone asked, how do I know if my gut health is good? So check that out. It's a very short episode if you just want a quick rundown on how you can assess your own gut. And of course, I'm going to do a gut skin podcast next week, and collagen, and maybe check out my Energy Glow NR. All right, so that was a quick episode today. Thanks so much, Anita, for that question. If you have a question you want to submit, please message me at Susie Garden Wellness, or you can respond if you're on Spotify to the little button in the show notes. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Ageless and Awesome podcast. If you like today's episode, please make sure you click the little plus button if you're on Apple Podcasts or the follow button if you're on Spotify so that you can get each new episode delivered to you every single week. If you like free stuff, and who doesn't, then head over to susiegarden.com and grab my 8 essential age-defying secrets every woman over 40 should know right now. Or if you'd like to continue the discussion, head over to Instagram and DM me at Susie Garden Wellness. I'd love to connect with you.